Heroes Scrubs. This is your favorite scrub, Solaris X. Also known as Solaris Quixote. Usually I reverse that. It doesn't really matter. I kind of made up a Quixote thing because I was planning on doing other things at this channel that were non-Dota related, but I realized now the goofiness of creating a Dota Scrubcast channel called Solaris Quixote and then putting in like political commentary and other stuff like that. So maybe not a good idea. This particular Scrubcast is brought to you by Team Liquid and Team OG. Actually, they didn't bring it to you. At least they haven't sponsored this or anything like that. But they did have a fantastic match, providing us with insights into one very particular enigmatic hero, not Enigma, though that might be consistent. This particular hero here, Elder Titan. This was at ESL 1 Frankfurt 2016. This is actually, I think, the semifinal. And then Team Liquid lost this series after appearing to be in pretty good commands, and I think all 3 games. OG just fantastic on their comebacks and the way that they execute games once they get their items. Anyway, OG came back and ended up playing Na'Vi in the finals and pretty much destroyed Na'Vi. They clearly were the victors of the tournament. In fact, that Team Liquid at least took 1 game off of OG tells me that this was really the finals. And I don't think Na'Vi took any games, so this was really the finals. This was I think not this is game 2 or game 3. I think this was game 2. Really cool game to watch because of the way that Crit played Elder Titan. Now, I've cast Crit before. I cast Crit on his, I think it was Earth Spirit, and boy is he good. I really wish, sometimes I just feel like I should just take the show and I just watch like one guy and all of his different heroes, so like, the Crit package, the Moon package, and maybe that's not a bad idea. Maybe I'll go ahead and do that, and create a playlist of just heroes and games that guy played. So the point of this Scrubcast, though, is not to cast a game like you would find on, the ESL had fantastic production value. They had great casters and great analysts, but they don't do what I'm going to do here. They cast the whole game, and they talked about everything as it came together for all the teams. They do the God mode, watch everybody. I watch one hero. I watch one specific one player play one hero because I want to be a better player. I don't want to be a scrub. I'm probably going to be a scrub forever. But you can, like me, learn to be better by watching pros play. And so that's what I do. I'm going to watch Crit play this game, just him. Not going to really watch anybody else. I want to see how he gets in position. I want to see how he does things.
Yo. Yo.
I want to see how he does things. I want to see, I don't know if you heard that was my friend in the background there. I'll see how he does things. I want to see, what position he takes. What is his general strategy? Does he Iron Talon in the jungle? Does he go and contest the lane? All kinds of different things. Because you don't really see that as part of the big productions that that these casters and analysts produce in these tournaments. So if you want to be a better player, you got to follow the hero throughout the entire process to see how he gets to these different plays. That's what I'm going to do, so I'm going to go ahead and get right into it here. Switch to player perspective, and hit play. And so, by the way here, just I guess set this up properly. What we have is a very interesting setup. Crit was actually, the Elder Titan was chosen first. And OG plays a really good Elder Titan, probably because Crit is so damn good. And he was picked first pick. Liquid actually let him through after winning the first game. I don't think they should have done that. That was probably a mistake, and we're about to see why. But they went ahead, they picked the Elder Titan. They have Miracle on the Lycan there. They have Moon on the Beastmaster, plays a pretty good Beastmaster. No Tail on the Juggernaut, and Fly on the Vengeful Spirit. So they're running what is essentially kind of like a 2.5 core, I want to say. Miracle and No Tail. There's 2 nasty melee cores. Can kind of get out. They're kind of split pushing, not really split pushing, but they do have escapes, which is very nice. And then they're going up against Liquid here. They have the Kuroki Riki combined with the Matumba Man Lifestealer, which is just disgusting. They have Mind Control on the Darkseer, also a very nasty combo. If you put the Darkseer and the Riki and the Lifestealer together, you've got some really cool stuff. They brought in a Jarek's line, which I have not watched before, and a bristleback. Fata on a bristleback. That's a mid bristleback. And boy, is Fata good. I was thinking about casting this game. But they went on to lose, and I like to cast games where they win. So I will come back to the Fata a few times because he's so good at this game. But anyway, they go up against this. So it looks like Crit on the Utter Titan's going to be off laning, I'm just guessing. Maybe, actually, he might be safe laning. I really don't know how he plays this, which is part of the reason why I do this whole thing. So we'll see what he does here. And how does he start off? So the first thing he does is he grabs some wards, boots, tango, and clarity. And he goes to the off lane, TP's in, actually. And he's going to put up a ward right here. I'm sure that's going to block that camp. And that's an observer word, so not only does it block the camp, it observes any movements through the dire jungle coming out into the river. He wants to be able to see any gank attempts, perhaps. He does not have an Iron Talon. He also puts a word mid because he wants to be able to help, I think, Miracle out mid, because Miracle is a melee hero, and melees of mids, of course, are going to be more exposed, given their fact that they're melee. They're out there in the middle of the water trying to hit those creeps and get last hits. And boy, does he need a good start, because they're going to have a tough time. You got a Bristle back there, you got a Ricky that's going to be all over the place, and a Darkseer that can just aid the fight from afar with his Ion Shell. So Elder Titan, has starts 680 health, a decent amount of health to start, and he's got 3 armor. Not bad. I can take a few punches. I don't know why they say that he hits people with a stapler, because he doesn't look like he has a stapler here. I normally see what looks to be some kind of suitcase. I think he hits people with suitcases, but whatever. In this case, it's some giant orb thing, and who knows what the hell it is. But it does 52 damage each time you hit somebody with it. Not bad. Strength hero. See if he levels anything here. Looks like Miracle. They're going to guarantee Miracle the mid rune, which is important. He needs to get that fast start if possible. Elder Titan picked, I think, mostly for 2 reasons. I guess really 3 reasons. Natural Order, very, very good anti-armor spell. Just a passive. It's a pretty decent radius. It's 275. So as long as the Elder Titan's in and around the hero that has, you want to get rid of armor, that's pretty good, because it's going to remove all base armor, basically, at some point. Goes ahead and he waits to cast that ward mid, because he wants to see if there's a Ricky going to be in the lane, and there is no Ricky in the lane, and so he's going to know now that that's probably safe, or at the very least, he's going to prepare for Ricky to be there. So as soon as Ricky puts down a counter ward, potentially to see if there's a word there, one of these 2 guys are going to have to immediately eat it with the tango, which will be, we'll see that happen. So he's just sitting in the mid. Looks like he's roaming. I guess that's the role of an Elder Titan. You've got a Moon Beastmaster in the off lane, and you got a Miracle. What's that? Lycan. right. Lycan in the mid lane. So Elder Titan went ahead and went for Astral Spirit, which is just an annoying spell. You can see it does a little bit of damage to them, and he puts down. Also gets Vision, which is a nice tool to have early on in the game. It also gives him a little bit of bonus damage off of each creep and each hero that it touches. When it's roaming around there, it gives him a little bit of a base movement speed, a little bit of extra movement speed, which is nice. So it's kind of a harassing technique. Boom, see, he can actually see up ground, get a little bit of additional damage on Darkseer there. Hell, if Darkseer was really low, he might have actually died to that. Crit just taking a little bit of farm, a little bit of experience, and he left the lane. Moon's going to die. Not probably what he preferred. I'm guessing Moon is going to go ahead and leave that lane. He's right up against a Lifestealer, occasional, occasional probably dark Ion Shell Darkseer, and then of course the Lion sitting around. Lion with the stun, the the Lifestealer with his open wounds. They're going to be able to kill Moon over and over and over again, so he's probably going to leave. Meanwhile, Crit pops pretty much all his regen here. He popped the Clarity. He's got all of his tangos used. The problem with the Astral Spirit is it's actually, if you cast it a lot, it's that mana adds up. He does not have a ton of mana to start. He's only got 338 base mana. It's really small. Each time he casts 80. There he goes. He's going to go ahead and try to Echo Stomp, and he does get the Echo Stomp off using the Astral Spirit as the extender on the Echo Stomp. That's part of the gank. It's part of the reason I think you pick an Elder Titan, because you can, if you can get some kind of initial slow on the enemy, then that's a nice secondary follow-up. Not the best initial stun, because Moon's gonna have to leave this lane. In fact, he's going Iron Talon. So, but yeah, that's a nice thing to do as a secondary stun. You can slow them down a little bit. Of course, once you hit them, once your team hits the guy who's been echo stomped, who's physically sleeping, I guess is what they do. What it does, they go to sleep. That's fine. But he's not sleeping anymore. I mean, you can't really hit people and then let them continue to sleep, especially when you're hitting them with that giant orb thing. Astral Spirit is going to try to get a Echo Slam, not good enough. Actually, it was rather slow. I would have never even tried that one. Waste his mana. It's 100 plus 80, 180 mana there. He's going to sit down here in bot lane, so he's been roaming pretty much the whole time, just kind of going to where his team needs him. I guess OG's feeling the pressure down here. And Echo Slam, but the Kuroki gets the nice jump away on the Riki. So that's going to prevent Crit from getting that stun. Now, also a nice interrupt, by the way, Echo Stomp. And if you're in a massive team fight, it's going to do a nice job of separating out the enemies. Eventually, this thing's going to level up. It's going to get a 5-second sleep, so you can basically just pick your targets. As long as you don't have a lot of AoE damage, you can pick your targets. And unfortunately, I think Miracle's going to probably die mid. Crit's rushing over to rescue that or take the lane. Probably just try to get in the lane, get some experience in levels. He needs some levels. Picks up the Sage's Mask to try to keep his, I think, regen up. I'm not sure exactly. He got another ward. He's going to try to make sure that he gets. So this is the value of wards, folks. He gets to see everything that's going on right there. Avoid the gank by a gank against Miracle. So yeah, if you got a big team fight and Echo Stomp goes off in the middle of the team fight, you can just slowly pick which enemies you want to hit. Now there's a nice counter initiation by him. He Astral Spirits in, and then he Echo Stomps, gets 2 to prevent the attack onto, I forget who that was there, but it was probably Miracle dying very slowly. Vengeful Spirit, not really sure. So, that's another thing to do. It's a great counter initiation tool, and probably a better counter initiation tool because as an initiation tool, it sucks. Unless you catch them off guard, or you've got another initiation tool. If people see an Astral Spirit walking at you, you can't exactly be like, oh, I'm going to completely ignore this giant spirit that's going to walk in front of me and probably Echo Stomp me until I die. Not a very good idea. Sounds like No Tail's going to end up dying down here. Dying to a Riki. No? Wow. And that's the power of a Juggernaut, folks, with a little bit of healing. He ends up getting a counter kill here. Might actually get Mind Control, doesn't. Meanwhile, Crit's just been kind of running around. Actually, does not get the Echo Stomp off in time to save Miracle on the Lycan, so he's going to take this lane while Lycan is dead, prevent damage to the tower as much as possible, but also just get some levels. And he has to be careful. That is already a very tanky Bristleback. He's got the infused raindrops, which is nice to prevent the Astral Spirit damage. Astral Spirit, I believe, is magical. It is magical, and it does pierce spell immunity, which is kind of nice. I think all of his spells pierce spell immunity. Yeah, Earth Splitter pierces spell immunity, which is an AoE slowing and damaging, and eventually, if you get the Scepter, disarming spell like Earthquake thing. And I think people don't realize this does health-based damage. It's not just. It's like the best scaling. Look at that. Max HP is damage. You could potentially do 1 to 2,000 damage per hero, depending on, of course, their health. 50% health. And it is magical, so it goes through armor, which is nice. Doesn't pierce magic resistance, of course, but that's what Natural Order is for, folks. Base resist reduction, 12%, 19%, 26%, 33%. Very nice. So Elder Titan is going to go for the Soul Ring build, which I think is actually really smart. I wouldn't have thought about that. His spells don't take a ton of mana, and he probably is going to get decent health regen. He's got 4.2 health regen with the Soul Ring. He's going to Echo Stomp away from this gank attempt by Fada. It's not really a gank attempt as much as it is just Fada expressing his dominance in the lane. Dominating the lane. Especially with the Matumba Man infested into a couple of creeps. That is a scary combo. Crit does not even have his ultimate yet, so he can't really threaten much here. We don't have a Void initiation with the Chronosphere, so they're going to have to deal with initiation by the Vengeful Spirit or the Moon Beastmaster. Not the best, so Moon really needs a Blink Dagger, and he is far away from that Blink Dagger. He's got a Belt of Strength, got his Ring of Regen. Going to go ahead and pick up his Necronomicon eventually. He's got the Iron Talon, but Not the best initiation tools here to start get an Earth Splitter off. He doesn't have it anyway, he's only level 5. They go ahead and heat their way through the trees here to get a kill on Jerax. And there's the setup. Moon eats the trees. Ults to kill a lion, just so you know. He's going to actually sacrifice his life for this. But it's not bad. He needs the money. That's going to be guaranteed reliable gold because it was a hero kill. And Crit comes in and does get the experience gain and the money as well. Uses his Echo Stomp to finish off the lion there. So a decent rotation by OG. They knew they could get a kill. Lion was all by himself. They knew they could eat through those trees and do that. Not a bad combination. Looks like he's putting a lot of points here in Echo Stomp. And I think that's just because they need massive counter initiation to slow this game down. At this point, Liquid is doing really well, and they OG just lost to Juggernaut. Miracle has died several times mid. That's a nasty Bristleback doing nasty Bristleback things. Look at that. He just can't do anything about it. Bristleback's probably going to be able to kill him. Oh, he's going to TP out. Oh my god. He actually got a kill. Wow. Well, it's a good thing I watched this game beforehand, because if I had looked at the stats and if I had just kind of started watching this game, I would not realize that OG come back and win. This is looking pretty nasty. Liquid is up by 1 kill, but they're up by much further than that if you consider the Bristleback and how farmed he is right now. He's going to get a Vanguard here very shortly. Eliminate virtually all of the damage that is pretty much just like wet noodle damage right now coming out of OG. Tickle damage, you know? Tickle till it hurts, I guess. Windlace on the Elder Titan, get a little extra movement speed, and if he's going to be somebody who has to avoid the Bristleback, which was just slinging snot at him and slowing him down, that's going to be helpful. Also, if he's roaming around, it's nice to be able to move a little faster. And if he's going to be a counter initiator and an initiator at some point, he's going to have the ability to get into these fights and get in there faster. So, not bad. He's an Astral Spirit Echo Stomp. No, Astral Spirit. He's trying to. Yeah, he's going to go ahead and get. Uses it to gain control of the rune. Another benefit to an Elder Titan. You can use your Astral Spirit to scout out the rune to avoid getting initially caught out. Scout out the area, and then if anybody gets in the area, you can just Echo Stomp them till they sleep, and then you go take the rune while they're sleeping. People sleeping on the job. Got a point in natural order. That's really good idea. It's going to eliminate a pretty decent amount of 40% base armor at level 1. Very, very good. And they're going to kill a Ricky with it. They did successfully push this top tower, and that was set up by some wards. He has not purchased. He is not ward bitch. That's the Vengeful Spirit on the, as the ward bitch there. And the gank on the lion too. Okay, so he is sitting here mid, and there was a nice TP in by Jerax, but he actually gets an Echo Stomp off to shut that down. Miracle's, I don't know if Miracle's going to get a kill off this. He might die himself. Actually, he's lucky. Nice wolf there, run around too quickly to avoid. He almost, God, Crit's almost level 6. He would love to be able to interrupt all of that, but he can't. So I'm actually surprised he didn't try to Astral Spirit and Echo Stomp to help save his friend there. It wouldn't really cost him very much. So Crit opting for a little more regen here. He's going to go for the Boots of Health and the Soul Ring. Kind of that poor man's health and mana regen. Make sure he stays in the lane. That's going to be important. He needs levels. So that kind of combination is going to let him sit out there. In fact, he even purchases the Tome of Knowledge rather than getting the boots. He needs those levels really bad. He needs that just a little bit more, and he's going to have Earth Splitter. And hopefully going to turn some of these fights. But meanwhile, Moon dying to a Lifestealer. And you can see here, the enemy OG can't really see this right now, but there's wards all over the place. Liquid have tons of wards everywhere. Counter wards, observer wards, and so OG has very little vision right now, and this Astral Spirit's going to come in handy if Crit's feeling like he's in danger. I'm actually surprised he was up there. I guess they're pulling those creeps up top with the Dominated Creep. So, Dominated Creep? Who has the Dominator, I want to know. Okay, so there's the Astral Spirit initiation on the Fada, and the only reason this worked, there's an Earth Splitter right there. The only reason this works is because Fada was overconfident, and he was totally dominating his lane. Now, of course, Crit needs to get in the middle of the fight. He's going to die, pay for his natural order minus armor with his life. Miracle's probably going to die. not going to be able to get. He got off his ult, but he's not going to be able to escape. So once again, Liquid dominating. They couldn't even get the kill there on the Bristleback, which just goes to show you how far OG is behind. The tickle damage on the Bristleback is not going to be enough. Even the minus base armor, even with the Earth Splitter, even with the Astral Spirit, all of that on top of a Bristleback, as long as his back is faced towards you, you're not doing a lot of damage. And you're getting quill sprayed on top of that. And that's probably, I think that's probably because he had a Vanguard. Yeah, I mean, he has got a Vanguard on top of, was that 50% base, 40% back damage reduction, 20% side damage reduction, plus he's tank. He's got 1,590 health. So Crit nowhere near the battle. He is running around, probably going to get a rune here if he can. 14-minute rune. No, he's going to ward up. No, doesn't even have a ward. Maybe he's helped setting up his friend for a ward. No, Moon doesn't have a ward. What is he doing? This is interesting. This is the kind of stuff I'm like, what are these guys doing? I wish there was some analyst to tell me. Too bad I'm not an analyst. I'm just a scrub. I just see him wandering into the woods when all the enemies are south. Maybe he's just seeing what he can see, going for a walk, a Sunday drive. Sunday drive in the Elder Titan.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Maybe he's just up there helping his friends, being vision, making sure they're not going to get ganked. I don't really know. There was no risk of that. All the enemies were, all of Liquid was down in the southeast corner there at that kill zone. I forget who that was, probably Juggernaut. So Elder Titan finally gets his little health boots. He's going to be able to finally sit in lane. Astral Spirit into the Echo Stomp on top of, I don't know who that was, but just scaring them, you know, because if you keep doing that, you don't really, not only you slow them down, not only you scare them, you force enemies to rotate around that hero to defend him just in case. And then eventually, you know, it's kind of like crying wolf. You do it so many times, people stop responding, and when they stop responding, that's when you initiate. But here's a smoke attempt by OG, try to get themselves back in this game. No Tail leading the charge, Fly shortly behind. Crit actually turning back around. They're not liking the way this looks. I think their problem is they don't have any vision. They have no idea what's going on in those woods. There are potentially 4 or 5 people there, and if that's a smoke into 4 or 5 people, they are dead. Crit being sure to blow the smoke to get a, making sure to get a last hit before he blows the smoke. And here's the Kuroki into the Matumba Man Lifestealer. Actually didn't work out. That's actually pretty nice escape there by Crit. I'm surprised he did not get killed. Liquid clearly withdrew as soon as they saw, they realized just how far in they were and how the entire enemy was there. All of OG were there. I'm guessing the swap actually was on cooldown. They may not have known that either. So there's the Astral Spirit right into the enemy attack. He Echo Stomps. He's going to use the Astral Spirit, scout a little bit more. Fly's on the hunt. Probably not going to be able to do anything about that Bristleback. So Crit moves up to the left. Probably looking to see if there was a flank from the left, but also rune control. He keeps staying to the left. He knows that his jungle is not warded. They're not even bothering to ward that. They're trying to keep vision as much as they can, I think, over that tower up top. They're saving their money. They do have Roche vision as well. And this actually wouldn't be a bad game for Roche for them if they had a Necronomicon, if the Lycan was online. And, you know, all this stuff can work out pretty good as a Roche attempt. And Crit can do a nice Earth Splitter, or Astral Spirits, Echo Stomp into an Earth Splitter to really ward off Liquid. Liquid does not have huge amount of big team fight. They have, you know, individual ganking with the Riki. They do have a Bristleback. It's kind of like a walking Radiance, really. That's what he is. And then it's slow in Radiance, too. Lion's a decent amount of burst damage. That's not team fight, though. He get his ass kicked pretty easily. But the only team fight they have is a Darkseer. So Elder Titan watching. He's staying in mid lane. He's really staying put. His teammates are pushing top. They're defending bottom, and he's staying mid. And I'm guessing that's just because he really needs as much farm as possible. He's holding back this wave. He's keeping rune control. You know, that's a resource, and I think that that's undervalued resource. And oh boy, he's going to die for this one for sure. Yeah, definitely. That was the classic Riki Lifestealer bomb, but there was also a line there as well. So they're splitting up, trying to come back in this game, get as much experience, get as many levels as possible. He doesn't care too much if he dies. I mean, he needs the levels, really. He doesn't run off a lot of money. He's going to try to get a 4-staff if he can. which I guess makes a lot of sense, because if he's in the middle of the fight, he either needs to get to the middle of the fight to have natural order be up and reducing enemies' base armor, or he needs to get the hell out of the fight, because he's in the middle of the fight already, and it's going to be turning against him. Maybe help save his friends as well. Force Staff's always being, you know, a nice addition. So he's going to lose that rune. He would probably like to have that one. That's the reason why that ward is up there. He's taking a look at mid. He sees the Ricky Infest bomb just waiting to go. He's going to sit back here and look for a counter initiation in case Miracle is initiated on. That would be a pretty nice turn, especially since he knows that their enemies are split up, that Liquid is both top and to the far right. Now, he saw an enemy up there between his two towers. They're going to smoke. They're trying to use this as an initiation tool. If only they can get it off. There's the Ricky, and they're going to get 2 for this, hopefully. They're going to get a swap. So Matumba Man's going to get ulted by No Tail. Kuroki still has not died yet. They did have vision. They lost vision on him, and Matumba Man's going to get away. And here's the rest of the initiation by Liquid. Lion gets a kill on the Juggernaut, which is really sad. And I don't know if that Echo Stomp actually got the kill. It didn't get the kill. Somehow Ricky was able to escape that. That is insane. And that was a wasted ultimate. Let's see if Crit uses his ultimate here to try to get a kill. Ah. He killed Ricky. That's kind of silly. He's going to save it, and that makes a lot of sense. He really doesn't want to use it just for the hell of it. He wants to use it as either a counter initiation or, you know, the possibility of actually killing the enemy. He doesn't want to blow that and not have it on cooldown just to get 1 kill. He wants to be able to save his entire team with it. Again, that's going to have a slow duration, 30%, 40% move slow. It's going to do a ton of damage to a lot of people. Miracle dying again. Fly going to die. Goodbye, Fly. Vengeful Spirit. Sorry. And Crit just maintaining his presence in the mid lane. A little scary there. I guess he saw the enemies running away. They might lose their courier up top. And he moved the courier away. Somebody was paying attention. Thank you. So we got the first element of his Force Staff. He's putting more points in natural order now. He needs to get that up as much as possible. Big bonuses to armor reduction on that against that Bristleback. Now, the Bristleback doesn't have a ton of base armor, but he'll have enough. And it's going to be helpful. Need every little bit of damage and armor reduction they can get to kill him. Fly's going to swap the Ricky in. Ricky's going to ultimate to get out of that. Echo Stomp. Echo Stomp. Yeah, there's the Echo Stomp with the stun. As I said, it's a good counter initiation tool or a good secondary initiation tool, but not a good initial initiation tool. No Tail going to use his Omnislash just to guarantee that kill on Ricky, which just shows you how desperate OG is to get any kills. Then again, they actually are going to get a Roshan out of this. Fada's probably going to go in there anyway. Ricky was not a huge element to their team. So there's the vacuum. No wall from the Darkseer there. Crit has actually got a nice... He split himself up, and that's actually... I want to watch that again, because that's, I think, one of the main reasons people get in Elder Titan. His ability to contribute to the team fight in multiple places at once is really nice. So, let's watch the slow motion. So there's the Astral Spirit going up top on the top of the stairs. OG is actually farther away. Now, he is... This is where I want to pause it. Crit is on both sides of this fight. He is simultaneously up here with his Earth Spirit, or sorry, Astral Spirit, and he's simultaneously down here. He is basically around all the enemies except for, I guess, Mind Control, who's probably going to escape this. His team is desperately trying to get Roshan. They're so close. They're so close. All he has to do is hold them off. So, you know, this is perfect. He can control, you can push ahead, he can control 2 spots at once, potentially up to, in this case, it's going to be up to 5 seconds. So we'll see how this works out, slow motion. He doesn't die, so Fada's stunned, Jerax is stunned, any other person coming would have been stunned. There's the Moon ultimate, Beastmaster Scream. No Tail's going to come in, probably clean up Mind Control. Jerax is probably going to die here from the Necronomicon, the Wolves, and Miracle who ulted. Now, Crit probably, is he going to pay for his life? Did he end up dying there? No, he didn't. So this is a really good example of why you pick an Elder Titan. And look at that courier. Wow, that was really low health there. Elder Titan just turned that fight completely around. That fight would have been very, very different. Now, maybe if you had a Voidwalker, that would have been okay. The Chronosphere could have stopped that. You know, other big teamfight ultimates are good. But, you know, for every, how many seconds? 16 seconds he can basically do that trick. Every 16 seconds. I mean, actually, probably every 11 seconds because the Astral Spirit stays up. So that's a really powerful ability if you can do it right. Here's another example. He just Astral Spirited Liquid. I'm sorry, Fada. He almost would have gotten Kuroki, but Kuroki actually ulted to get out of that, which is stupid that the Riki ult is that low. But he did end up getting Fada, kind of put Fada out of the fight there for a little bit. They're not going to be able to kill Fada for a while, but they're getting there. They're coming back just a little bit here, thanks basically largely in part to the Elder Titan, slowing down the enemy and able to counter-initiate, slowing down the enemy's initiations, able to counter-initiate, secondary stun on gank attempts, and overall being in the middle of the fight, doing a lot of not just damage, but armor reduction. Enabling damage, I guess, is probably the better way to describe it. Finally picks up his 4th staff, and that's in the back of those 3 kills and the Roshan. So he's going to be able to see how he uses this. I'm sure he's going to use this to both initiate, because that's the nice thing. If he Astral Spirits away, then he can have an Astral Spirit kind of, you can actually have the Astral Spirit follow a person. So he can have that always be around a person, and then if he needs to, he can force staff to other people and then Echo Stomp them. So that might be how he uses it offensively. I'm not really sure. By the way, Astral Spirit goes a lot farther than I remember. See how he uses it. Probably going to save his allies too.
Top tower is under attack.
So Moon split pushing top. He's going to get probably killed for this. Riki is on top of him. And they're going to, so that's interesting. As soon as he saw enemy movement up top on the Moon, they expected it. That's when they smoke up and try to counter against the 4-man squad. It was very well timed. Unfortunately for OG, Liquid is already gone. And maybe all of their friends went top. So there's your lesson. If you split push, if you're being a split push, or if you're being, people are pushing down your mid, you kind of put an enemy, sort of a sacrificial lamb in a different lane to split push. And then as soon as the enemy goes for that person, then you smoke and kill all the enemies that are sitting left in the lane. Now this is going to get a fly ultimate into a no-tail ultimate, into an echo slam, into everything they could possibly do to kill that lifestealer. Big kill. Lifestealer had pretty high value here. Looks like Earth Splitter's going to go right through Liquid. Oh my gosh, that's going to be a huge amount of damage. The 5-man squad right on top of Liquid's Bristleback. They're going to kill Kuroki as well. Vacuum Wall, holy crap, almost killing the entire OG squad. That is the power of a grouped up OG, so they weren't thinking about that. And to be fair, they hadn't really faced that yet this match, so they didn't really know what was coming. So they, I think, did they lose somebody? I thought they lost No Tail. No Tail had Aegis, that's why. Now Elder Titan going for a gem to get some map control back in this game, get his farm for Miracle and Moon and everybody else who needs to recuperate as much as possible. Now this is the strength of OG's team, is that even if Liquid had expressed dominance the whole game, if they lose one team fight, and they don't have a lot of team fight, if they lose one team fight, Liquid's gonna, or OG's gonna be able to split push, use all the Necronomicons, the Howls, the bonus damage, and here's gonna be a counter initiation, Astral Spirit into a Stomp, potentially saving Miracle, but that's not gonna be helping. Miracle's gonna have to die for this one. But they do get a Rax, which is nice. They got one of the barracks, and that was because of the team, the way they've got all these. They got Wolves, they have Necronomicons, they have 2 Necronomicons at this point. They've got the Inner Beast bonus attack damage from the Beastmaster. They've got the heal, the sustain heal from the Juggernaut. They've got the, I don't think minus armor from Natural Order affects towers, but they do have the Howl from the Lycan and all his Wolves and Necronomicon units, to mention the Vladimir's offering. And the Vengeful Spirit can use Howl against towers. So that's gonna mean really nasty tower push and really nasty base push. So even if Liquid lose just one key hero, that's good news for OG, because they can usually get in and get out, and because they're behind, they can actually afford to lose a hero or two. What the hell? I'm not sure what he's doing. He's casting chickens? Did you hear that? There were chicken noises. Huh. Maybe he's taunting the enemy. There's like a chicken script you can download and play for the enemy. Come get me, he says. So they know that they're on the back burner now. They push that lane, and Liquid counter-initiated, did a decent job of pushing back OG. But OG, using this gem to try to get some control, maybe get rid of any wards they have in their upper jungle before they go to their lower jungle. I think he just saw the smoke. Yeah, he actually pings it out. He was hovering over there. That's a nice vision there by Crit. So they're going to avoid that area at all costs, stick together, stay grouped up, be around this tower, and probably just push out to stay away from wherever they think the enemy might be. Use those summons from the Beastmaster for vision. Use the Astral Spirit if necessary, although I think he's been saving the Astral Spirit. I guess I would be a little more scouty with it. I would use it as a scout, but he already has the Beastmaster summon, so I guess that's one thing. He also has the Wolves summon, which are already in Viz units, so he doesn't really need to use it as a scouting mechanism, which he could have done if he wanted to, had he not had that kind of vision. I bet you that would be more of a role for him, but he's saving it. He really wants to be able to counter-initiate, and if he doesn't know where the enemy is, he's probably going to be more careful with it. So, I'm going to go for a Yules. That's going to be nice, I think. Ability for him to save himself, potentially, and maybe he can actually, I guess Natural Order does affect the enemies that he's around, even if he's Yules. So that's kind of cool. They can't just immediately blow him up and get rid of the Natural Order aura. Natural Order aura. What else would you use that for? Maybe Yules the Lifestealer. Well, Lifestealer, I guess you can't really use a Lifestealer where he's got his little shield on there. I'm not sure who else he'd Yules. Maybe the Bristleback, get him out of the fight temporarily. That's probably how he does it. And there is the Astral Spirit into... He hasn't used his Earth Splitter. It was the Astral Spirit into the Echo Stomp. Not particularly successful. Part of the problem is you got all these units running around. You got all this AoE damage. The sleep isn't going to be very good because people, everybody's being hit by some amount of damage. No tails, Blade Furying around. Not the best setup there. So single target heroes actually work really well with Echo Stomp. But they have a team specifically set up to have tons of little minions and running around and doing damage to everybody. So now obviously they're controlling that, but if there's not a perfect communication, it's going to be a problem. And OG has the ability to have perfect communication. They are a very, very good team. They've done very good work at executing. I think that's the reason why they're so good right now. Probably top in the world. They've got great drafts, obviously, but they've also been able to execute those drafts. And I think we're seeing right here that they came back on the back of just one fight. And because of the way their lineup, their draft is, and the way that they built their heroes, if they win, just kill one key hero, they can push a base. So that's nice. And looks like Elder Titan draws a line up to the... oh, that's bad. Draws a line all the way up to the top right lane. He's going to try to push that off lane. And that's good. If you're split pushing, I think it makes sense. You don't want to push middle in another lane. You want to push the two complete opposite lanes. And I think I just saw Boots be picked up by somebody. Yeah, that's a Beastmaster Boots pickup. And you do have Mantis Style and Juggernaut. Probably, I don't think that gets him out of a Hex. But probably maybe gets him out of the Cloud. No, probably doesn't get him out of the Cloud. Ricky Smoke Cloud either. That might just very well be a pushing Manta. I really don't know how that would work. But with the Boots of Travel... on the Beastmaster, can push a little bit, not a tremendous amount. He does have the Necronomicon and his little summon, his Wolf summon. The Lycan can be on the other side of the map, and the Moon can be pushing on the... 4 people can be pushing on one side of the map, and the Moon can be pushing on the other side of the map, and then TP in as a counter initiation. And they're not really using him as an initiator right now. Anyway, they're using Fly on the Vengeful Spirit as an initiator, swapping people in and stunning them into an Earth Spirit, into an Astral Spirit, Echo Stomp. So that's what Crit's going to bring to that fight. And if you separate the enemies out like that, then you can blow up one of the enemies with Natural Order, and then there's 4 men. There's 4 men left, and they just run the hell away because they're going to lose all 4 men. And with this lineup, that's it. That's all OG need to take control, to take objectives. So they're going to go ahead and smoke. I still haven't seen the Force Staff here on Crit. I haven't seen him use it. We'll see if he uses it. OG smoking up. They actually drew a line to the bottom lane, but I don't know. They're not going to that lane. Instead, they're going to try to come in, get some vision, see if they can kill this Rax. That's not bad. Not a bad objective. I don't know why they didn't just go for it. I guess because they have no idea where the enemy is. Okay, there's the initiation. Moon actually did initiate with his Scream there. And Primal Roar. Crit staying in the back lines. He's going to probably get killed here. He's silenced. He's in the smoke cloud. That's why he gets the Force Staff, folks, to get out of the Riki ultimate, or Riki cloud. Is there going to be Astral Spirit? There's the Astral Spirit. Echo Stomp. No! Right into a vacuum. Very bad. Run the hell away. There's the Astral Spirit. Echo Stomp onto 2. Earth Splitter is going to blow up Fada based upon total amount of health. Wow, he's going to have to get out. Fly swaps him in. Whole of OG is going to be on. Oh, that's bad, though, because, well, there's another Astral Spirit into another Echo Slam, which is good. And they actually do get, OG actually do get the kill on the Bristleback. They're going to try to turn this on Matumba Man, but No Tail's in a world of hurt if he's gets too close. He's going to actually be able to turn onto the Riki. He's going to have to Blade Fury the way, though, once Matumba Man comes back into the game with his armlet toggle. Miracle's going to get out. Nope, there's going to be a vacuum to stop the Miracle. But Crit, oh, with the Astral and the counter. Echo Stomp into a Force Staff, saves his friend Miracle from assured destruction, or is it? Is he going to give his life here? I think he might give his life. He gave his life. Did he save Miracle? That is the question. No. So he didn't save Miracle, but he almost saved Miracle. And that was really cool to watch. So that's two things right there. We saw Elder Titan, I think Astral Slam. I'm gonna call it Astral Slam. Astral Slam because it's the combo twice, and then that third one almost saved Miracle's life. So it's basically like it could be as good as 3 Chronospheres. I guess a Chronosphere is longer than 5 seconds, but not much longer. And so Elder Titan is able to save his friend, counter-initiate, probably mitigated the losses there significantly, almost saved Miracle. It would be very nice if he did. At least gave Miracle some time to escape, to run away. Maybe he would have been able to turn it. So here's the example of where you use the Astral Spirit to scout out what's going on, because nobody can do anything. And you Echo Slam, and that's a really good counter to a Roshan attempt, because all of a sudden the team is slowed down. And here's the counter initiation by OG. They Primal War. I guess that was I don't know who that was there. Another Astral Slam, and they're going to get the hell out of dodge. So they blow somebody up real fast, force a buyback, and they're going to come back. Now, I think that was a Note ultimate. Yeah, there's a Note ultimate, Omni Slash, and a Primal War used by the Beastmaster on the side of OG. No cooldowns on the side of Liquid, so they are going to back up. I guess they know they're going to lose the Roshan, but maybe that's the sacrifice they're willing to make. They did get a buyback, immediate buyback, which is probably not worth it at this point, because OG back off. So punishing Liquid there, and actually looks like maybe Liquid weren't able to finish Roshan anyway, because the top lane was pushing it on the barracks. The remaining, I guess that's a ranged barracks. Elder Titan finishes up his Yules, and so I think that's maybe the plan, is going to Yules Bristleback, prevent him from continuing to add stacks, because Bristleback gets stacks from his Warpath, and Quill Spray stacks, of course. If you Yules Bristleback out of the game, Bristleback's doing nothing. He's doing absolutely nothing for how many seconds? Yules 3 seconds? 2.5 seconds. That's additional 2.5 seconds of time. They don't have a damn Bristleback running around. They can quickly kill a Lion, quickly kill a Darkseer, maybe a Riki. Riki's probably going to jump away. He's pretty elusive. The Lifestealer has been dying really quickly. All that damage onto a Lifestealer. And then all of a sudden, if you get a kill or two against Liquid, then you can take the Bristleback. I think that's the strategy I've been seeing a lot lately, is if you've got a really well-farmed Bristleback, don't go mano-a-mano. Don't fight that thing first. Find a way to fight around it. And there's Crit doing his Crit things, not initiating, but just being a general nuisance with the Astral Spirit Echo Slam combination. I'm sorry, Echo Stomp. Echo Slam, a different thing, folks. That would be an Earth Shaker ultimate. So we'll see how he uses this Yules. I imagine he's going to use it against the Bristleback, or for himself, should he get into a World of Hurt. He can also use the Force Staff to get out of a World of Hurt if he needs to. But he does kind of want to be in the middle of it. I mean, he wants to cast his Earth Splitter. He wants to have the Astral Spirit Echo Stomp. He wants to be able to get in there and do, eliminate all their base magic resistance, eliminate all their armor, Yules himself to keep the pain up. But At the same time, Liquid is not built for these kinds of team fights. They're kind of built for, I want to say, almost drive-bys. This whole lineup is built for a Ricky Infest bomb with the Lifestealer. And Bristleback pushing the lanes, but now that the kind of the power, the split push power of OG, the just general pushing power of OG with all these damn summons, is really making it difficult for Liquid to do anything, because if they lose one person, they're going to have problems. Maybe they probably don't need the Ricky very much, but even the Lion, this is a potential serious loss. With that, you get 2 or 3 man Earth Spikes, and potentially turn some fights there, but unfortunately they lost their courier there. I don't know who killed it. So right now they're fighting as 5. They realize that that's their strength. They are team fight right now is much stronger. That Elder Titan really brings the pain, able to split up the enemies. Kind of like the, what was that famous war philosopher, Sun Tzu? You wait for half the enemy to cross the river and then you attack. And what Crit is doing is he's dividing and conquering. That's really what his abilities are. Now the question is, he actually is going to use his Force Staff. Is he going to be able to escape this? He Echo Stomps and then TPs unsuccessfully to his death. But he would have potentially escaped. That's actually pretty good. I would have probably just tried to town scroll portal, but instead he sends his Astral Spirit out and then Echo Stomps. Or maybe he didn't send his Astral Spirit out, but he did Echo Stomp, which would have provided him enough time to escape. 5 seconds. TP is what, 5 seconds? I don't know. I don't know the actual time. I think TPs are 5 seconds, maybe 4. I don't know. But that would allow him to escape, so it's a pretty smart idea. I guess unfortunately somebody got damaged. So, or they just didn't get hit by the Echo Stomp. And that is why you get a Ghost Scepter to counter an Omni Slash, because that is 105 seconds of an Omni Slash down. Lion not killed. Lion going to be able to beat up on Miracle. No Tail having to get the hell out of dodge. Blade Fury TP. And that's 1 Miracle down. So, and all that was started because, unfortunately, No Tail ulted onto a Ghost Sceptered Lion. Probably didn't realize Lion had a Ghost Scepter. Probably won't be doing that again. That he'll be shitting on the Lion. So, now they have to base defense. This is where Elder Titan once again comes into play. Very good at base defense. Look at that. The Astral Spirit comes back with 2 seconds left to cast another Astral Spirit. As long as his Astral Spirit's, by the way, every single time he touches all these people, he gets movement speed, and he's going to get additional damage. Watch the bonus damage he gets. Actually, not going to do anything with that slam. You're going to get a lot of bonus damage. 120 bonus damage, so you can smack the hell out of people. And if you get like a Nature's Prophet, I've actually seen this where you get a Nature's Prophet. You Astral Spirit a Nature's Prophet, and the amount of damage that comes back is like at level 5 Astral Spirit, level 4 Astral Spirit. It's like plus 150 or 200. It's insane. If you get the right enemy team, they have a lot of summons. Man, you can get a lot of base damage increase, and that's not just going to do base damage. What's it going to do? Speed. Yeah. You could actually build against the right team setup. You can actually build a Elder Titan kind of almost as a carry, depending on how they play. You force them to not play with their summons. It's a pretty nice benefit. Nature's Prophet not a big factor in this patch. I don't think he's going to be around. Now, if Liquid had the Elder Titan, that'd be nice because of all these summons on the part of OG. So they're waiting on the initiation on the Miracle. OG is. Liquid maybe not going to fall for this. OG does not know where Liquid is, so this is a nice bait tactic. Instead of going out and scouting for Liquid, they're just going to wait for Liquid to come to them. Let Miracle lead the way. Let Miracle continue to farm and potentially counter-initiate, which again, you got Moon, far away land, but he's got Boots of Travel. So that's how you do this, I think, is even if you only have one person split pushing, if they've got a Necronomicon and Boots of Travel, he can easily TP in 5 seconds he's there. He can potentially counter-initiate with the Primal Roar, and the whole team fight is turned. So he's protecting his teammates here. He's Astral Spiriting in. He's Echo Slamming to cover the retreat. Like covering fire, but with a giant Astral Echo Slamming magical thing. He picks up the Ghost Scepter. Oh, that's interesting. So I guess that's going to be against a lot of physical damage against these enemies. And the longer he stays alive, the better because of the natural order. He can get off as many Astral Spirit Echo Stomps. This is not a hero who wants to die. I don't think Elder Titan wants to be the guy who dies. So he's finding ways to survive that don't involve just massive health, which probably is the way I would build. So we'll see here how he does this. There's the swap. Elder Titan going to Astral Spirit. He's got 3 right there. Is he going to do it? There's the Echo Slam. Boom. He gets 3 heroes because if he was way over here, there's the Earth Split that came through. Boom. Does a lot of damage to start. Counter initiation onto Fada. That's going to pretty much stop that BKB charge in its tracks. Miracle's going to get out. Crit's going to Astral Spirit Echo Slam. Somehow that did not get. Oh, that's because the Life Stealer had his little rage on there. Stop the magical effect. So he does protect his teammates, but a little bit at least, protects their retreat. No hope of the enemy, of Liquid getting a hold of them, except No Tail did die as part of the initial exchange. That's because he ulted onto, I forget who that was, maybe the Lifestealer. I think it was 2, and I think 2, both the 2 enemies. The 2 Liquid heroes just kind of stuck together and eliminated that really nice damage. And there's a Force Staff saving Miracle again out of that smoke screen. So I if I ever go up against a Ricky, you can be damn sure I'm going to get a Force Staff. That is the reason you get one. Ghost Scepter going to be really good. Yule's Scepter. This guy is going to be able to sustain himself. Nobody is going to go on him. He's basically eliminating himself as a target, as an easy target. Because they could easily Infest Bomb blow him up. That's going to do a lot of initial damage. But then he's going to Yules. And after he's Yulesed, he's going to probably Ghost Scepter. Or he's going to Force Staff. And so what are they going to do? You know, if they spend 4 or 5 or 6 seconds trying to kill Crit and don't kill Crit, then the entire time he has, been affecting their armor and their base magic resistance. And against the kind of lineup that OG have, lots of physical damage coming out. That is terrible for Liquid. That means that they've focused all their efforts and spells and energy. There's a swap into an Astral Spirit, or actually a swap into a Primal Roar into a potential Astral Spirit Slam. Here, what's going to happen is he's going to be able to get that Astral Spirit off. He's going to Force Staff. He hasn't done anything yet. He's just kind of walking the back lines. There's another Primor. Was that a refresh Primor? I think it was. Astral Spirit into a Slam, into a Split Earth. Tons of damage on the enemy there. He needs to get inside this fight. He Ghost Scepters to get away from Fada. And now Fada's potentially going to die. You can get a Force Staff in there. He Force Staffs somebody right into somebody else, and nothing happens. That is sad and unfortunate. There's probably a Diffusal Blade, Astral Spirit into an Echo Stomp. That's going to be the end of Bristleback. It's 102 seconds down on the Bristleback. That must have been a buyback that I didn't pay any attention to. He just got a buyback on the Lifestealer, and that's probably going to be the end of this game. I do not understand how they're going to be able to come back from this. They're not going to even bother with Roshan. Roshan is up. This is going to be a nasty push. You've got all the summons. You've got the Wave of Terror on top of the tower and the racks. Look at that. Look at that damage. They're going to blow their glyph. Not going to matter. Bristleback, the only real push here. This is the last-ditch, desperate attempt by Liquid. Tubman going to be at the front lines. His little rage is going to wear off. Lion's Ghost Scepter is going to wear off. This Lion stays in this. Jerax is really good. He gets 3-man Earth Spike, but Tubman can't stop this forever. He's going to have to get out. He's going to armor toggle as much as he can. Ricky's going to go in and Smoke Cloud, but OG is not going to stop fighting this. Beastmaster's going to TP in after just dying, full health. They're probably going to get a kill on the Ricky. They got a kill on Lion, so they're somehow not really sure how that happened. And that's going to be game. Yep. That's going to be game. So, what did I learn from this game? I learned, look at that score, 25-25. And I bet you the net worth is pretty, it was pretty bad there for OG for a while. For a long time. But that's where the big team fights come into play, and that's why I think they picked an Elder Titan. It obviously worked really well synergized very well with all the physical damage coming out. But more than that, Crit played this really well, and the real power of an Elder Titan appears to be related to his ability to slow down the enemy, disrupt the enemy, kind of like a Naga Siren ultimate. A Naga Siren ultimate going to be able to completely disrupt the enemy. His repeated, almost like a repeated Naga Siren. I mean, it's like numerous times during a fight. That one fight, he two or three times he got a couple of different heroes. He doesn't have to be in danger to do it. And I believe his natural order also affects his astral spirit. So wherever he is, he needs to be, his astral spirit needs to be around somebody. He could be somewhere else. And if the fight is around him, then he's going to be able to echo stomp a bunch of people repeatedly. And so if the kind of enemy, I guess if Liquid or OG kind of fight around the Outer Titan, use him in his astral spirit and his use him kind of like a tower, kind of like a walking tower of some sort. That's pretty cool. And you can see he built this to be an escape artist basically. Go Scepter, Fuel Scepter, Divinity, Force Staff. By the way, also a lot of mana, which he needed because he was constantly casting Astral Spirit, using big ultimates like Earth Splitter. But I think this game was largely won. I mean, initially he bought some wards, he got some vision, helped Miracle along in the mid lane just a little bit there. But really, his major contribution was changing that fight around Roshan, and it took an advantage, a dire advantage, typically against Roshan, and turned it almost into a Radiant advantage. Really not a Radiant advantage, just the fact he was on Radiant. I mean, the enemy kept trying to do Roshan and couldn't, because the Outer Titan every 11 seconds can just punish them, can stun them, can stop them, can do damage to them, constant vision. And of course you add the Beastmaster vision as well. That's really good. The Lycan Wolf vision as well, the Vengeful Spirit, Wave of Terror, vision, and anti-armor as well. And you've got a recipe for, what can the enemy do? They don't have the ability to take lots of objectives. They're really good in early game and kind of drive-bys. Lifesteal was 13-3. He only died 3 times. So they had a really significant advantage, but that advantage is not that good because they had no team fight and couldn't counter the Elder Titan. The constant interruptions by the Elder Titan, the constant damage, the anti-armor. If they focus the Titan, then their whole team is dying. If Liquid focus the Titan, then Liquid's entire team is dying while they're doing that. And oh boy, you finally killed Natural Order. Well, you know what? Your entire team is dead anyway, because you've spent how much time we're focusing Elder Titan. So the way Crit built Elder Titan was to basically avoid taking damage, getting out of fights just long enough. Doesn't need to build tons of health items. And then he can use these items offensively as well. They're multi-purpose items. Eventually he could build that up to Ethereal Blade, which would be stupid. But that would have been fun to watch. He's playing the role of a support. He did get the gem pretty early on, actually. As soon as he got his Tranquil Boots. So in terms of his building, he started off with regen. He wanted to be able to stay out there, get lots of experience, be able to help his friends farm by sticking around them and then counter-initiating with an Astral Echo Stomp, and then allowing them to escape. And then after he built that, he got himself a Force Staff to get out of the Ricky Smoke Screen and help his friends get out of the Ricky Smoke Screens. Not really good counter-initiation tool, really good save tool, kind of like a saving hero. And then he got a gem, I think. I think he got Yules, actually, and then a gem. So he got 2 escape mechanisms, and then he got the gem to help offset the ridiculous amount of game control and map control that Liquid had at that point. Now, also, that's a good counter, because there's a Ricky Lifestealer Infest Bomb, so having a Gem of True Sight is pretty good. And if you have a Yule Scepter, then he can carry a gem, and if Yule Scepter and a Force Staff, he can carry a gem, and he's not going to have any problems. He's not going to really be killed. And you can even see a couple times, I think, Crit was initiated on by the Lifestealer Ricky Infest Bomb, and I think 1 or 2 of those times he was able to ward it off just because he got back. Liquid realized they were in a big trouble, and they just left immediately. So good job, Crit. What a way to play this. Only 14-5, only 16 assists. Not a tremendous number of assists, second highest on his team. Vengeful Spirit only one that's higher. But used his skills very well, positioned himself in this game to be effective. Also a very good support. I like covering supports because they're not the stars, but they do make a big difference. So good luck in your games playing under Titan. If you can master the keystrokes and the micro necessary to play him, congratulations. I think you've got a new hero that you can play and do really good things with. Until next time, folks, good luck and have fun.